Good morning, and welcome to another segment of the Werff Report for June 16th. Keep America vigilant. 223. Georgia. The previously sealed report on Georgia's election security has finally been unsealed, and it shows that Dominion voting machines can be hacked, votes can be changed, and elections can be altered, as hundreds of 2020 election ballots are found in a Michigan storage unit belonging to a township employee. 20 rhinos exposed themselves by voting with Democrats to protect Adam Schiff. Comer says he expects new bank records to show the Biden bribery scheme hitting between $20 and $30 million in illicit funds paid to the Bidens. Trump's grand jury never was told about the Presidential Records Act or the Clinton Sox case. Amazon shuts down a man's device controlling all of his smart home devices over a false claim of racist remarks alleged by a delivery driver. A global cyber attack affects federal agencies after they magically warned us about one. And Fox News fires the employee who wrote the wannabe dictator headline we previously reported to you on. First, to 20 Republicans that need to be removed from the House of Representatives, that are sleeper Dems who have clearly infiltrated the party. All 20 are shown on your screen. On Wednesday, the House voted on a resolution to condemn Adam Schiff for his Russia hoax lies and fine him millions of dollars for betraying the public's trust. The vote failed 225 to 196 to 7. The rhinos shown on your screen joined Democrats to protect Schiff. In addition, Darrell Issa of California and George Santos of New York voted present, while Neil Dunn of Florida, Tony Gonzalez of Texas, and Patrick McHenry of North Carolina did not vote. Get them all out, folks. One good thing is we now know who the players are. They are exposing themselves one vote at a time. Meanwhile, President Trump posted on Truth Social this week, quote, "The grand jury was never told about the Presidential Records Act or the Clinton Sox case, both exonerating. If this is true, and I'll bet it is, this is dirty on the part of the government. With a grand jury, they can decide exactly what and what not to show the jury, creating one-sided cases to obtain the exact result they want. Arrest them all." Meanwhile, it's being reported that a massive global cyber attack achieved by, quote, exploiting a flaw in widely used software has affected federal agencies such as the Department of Energy, as well as the Johns Hopkins affiliated hospitals in Maryland and Florida, the Georgia statewide university system, and the Minnesota Department of Education. BBC and British Airways were also affected. National Cybersecurity Advisor Ann Neuberger stated, quote, "They've started releasing some of the stolen data as part of their extortion attempts. The current narrative is that the attack was carried out by a Russian-based cyber criminal gang known as Klop Ransomware Gang. It's being reported that the group is threatening to release the massive amount of stolen data if their demands aren't met within a 7-day window. Is it the Russians or another government-led effort to deceive the American people?" Next to Georgia, where an election security report previously sealed by a Democratic judge has been unsealed, revealing that Dominion voting machines can be hacked, votes can be flipped, and elections can be altered. It even shows that attackers can modify the QR codes printed on ballots to change the voter selection. This is massive and damning. The bombshell report by J. Alex Halderman finds that the system vulnerabilities in Georgia's elections, quote, provide multiple routes by which attackers can install malicious software on Georgia's ballot marking devices, either with temporary physical access or remotely from election management systems, and, quote, how such malware can alter voters' votes while subverting all of the procedural protections practiced by the state, including acceptance testing, hash validation, logic and accuracy testing, external firmware validation, and risk-limiting audits. Most shockingly, there's this. Remember how we've reported in the past that voters make their selections on a screen and then a QR code is printed, which they submit for tabulation, and the voter has no way of validating whether or not that QR code accurately represents their selection? Well, the report concludes, quote, attackers can alter the QR codes on printed ballots to modify voter selections, and even further, quote, anyone can install malware with only brief physical access to the machines, and that, quote, this problem can potentially be exploited in the polling place even by non-technical voters. But wait, there's more. The report states that, quote, attackers can forge or manipulate the smart cards that the ICX uses to authenticate technicians, poll workers, and voters, saying how Halderman was able to create a counterfeit technician card that could unlock any ICX in Georgia. The report further states that an attacker can, quote, alter the ballot marking device's audit logs simply by opening them in the on-screen text editor application. Halderman also states in the report, quote, in addition to discovering and validating the vulnerabilities described above, I developed a series of proof-of-concept attacks that illustrate how vulnerabilities in the ICX could be used to change the personal votes of individual Georgia voters. I am prepared to demonstrate 1. An attack that uses malicious hardware hidden inside the ballot marking device's printer to alter the votes on printed ballots. 2. Malware that runs on the ballot marking device and alters votes while avoiding hash validation, firmware validation, and logic and accuracy testing. 3. An automated method of installing malware by briefly unplugging the printer cable and attaching a malicious USB device. And 4. Vote-stealing malware that can be installed remotely from the EMS by altering the ballot marking device's election definition file. We've placed a link to the full report in the comment section of this video. It is massively damning, folks. Meanwhile, in Michigan, 289 absentee ballots from the 2020 election were found in a storage unit in downtown Clio. Thetford Township Supervisor Rachel Stank filed a Freedom of Information Act request after contacting Michigan State Police. The request revealed that the storage unit was, quote, rented by a former township employee whose name has been redacted. Another leftist insider, folks. Wonder how many more have been stuffed away somewhere because they were votes for Trump. Yesterday, James Comer dropped another bombshell on Maria Bartiromo regarding the Joe Biden bribery scheme, stating, quote, we have more bank records coming in, but we're going to exceed $10 million this week, but I think we'll get up to $20 to $30 million, referring to the amount of money they've determined to be taken in by Biden from foreign nationals. That is absolutely shocking, folks, but I bet there's more, and if you investigated every politician, particularly rhinos and Democrats, you'd find the same thing. It's the root of our corruption in America. Foreign countries have been buying our politicians to infiltrate us from the outside. When a politician takes millions from a foreign national, that foreign national now owns them, and thus decides what happens in America. It is a war on our country by our adversaries that we're just now waking up to, though they've been doing this for years, and it's scary to think how many of our elected officials are controlled by our enemies today. They have a commanding majority, which is why we're seeing what we're seeing in America today. All of it. And they maliciously attack Trump because he is the one person who can't be bought. When he's in the White House, our adversaries don't get their way, so the foreign countries force the politicians they've bought to throw every wrench in the machine to make sure Trump is never elected again and that he can't get his work done. That's what all of this is about. Now to Amazon, who just proved exactly why smart devices are being pushed as the next best thing in America and around the world. We previously reported how an energy company was able to freeze smart thermostats in the name of climate change so customers had no control over the temperature in their homes. Now, Microsoft engineer Brandon Jackson had his smart home devices hijacked by Amazon because a stupid delivery driver wearing headphones falsely reported that Jackson's smart doorbell made, quote, racist remarks. The complaint prompted someone at Amazon to lock Jackson's account to the point that his Echo Show was signed out, which serves as Jackson's, quote, primary means of interfacing with all the devices and automations, such as his security cameras, thermostat, and lights. What's even more ridiculous is that Jackson, who is black, is the same race as the driver and most of the people in his neighborhood, and at the time of the alleged racist remark, nobody was home. After reviewing his security footage, the homeowner determined that the driver, who was wearing headphones, somehow mistook the device's automatic response of, quote, "Excuse me, can I help you?" for a racist comment. Jackson immediately sent the video footage to Amazon, but it took them a week to unlock his account. Thankfully, he had other ways to interact with his devices in the meantime. However, this just goes to show how smart devices can easily be used for abusive control by their companies and likely the government at the click of a button. Welcome to communism, where if you say or do something the authorities don't like, you lose everything because you either comply or die. Finally, to Fox News, who is now fired, likely under the illusion of a resignation, the employee who posted the "wannabe dictator" headline against Joe Biden that we reported to you on earlier in the week. The line, which read, quote, "Wannabe dictator speaks at the White House after having his political rival arrested," was up for about 30 seconds or less. But within 24 hours, the employee who posted it, who had been at Fox for over a decade, suddenly resigned. Is this America, folks? Absolutely not. But although it appears that things are getting worse, it's because we are on the precipice of a massive renewal in this country and around the world. They are losing and they know it. The dam has broken and their time is short. Believe me, I would never steer you wrong. Thanks for watching, America, and please share this video, and if you can, click the new donate button at the top right corner of our website to donate any amount you like and support us even more. We can't do this without you. We appreciate your support and we love you all. This has been another segment of the Werff Report for June 16th. Keeping you vigilant, America 2023. God bless you all. God bless President Trump, and God bless America.